Hello YouTubers, welcome back to my channel. My name is Angelo. Today we're gonna treat opals. I'll show you how to do it. Okay, this is the job of today. Please cut opal to fit setting. Thanks. Yes. They give me a ring. See, one stone here is missing. And they give me a stone, which is an opal, just like the other side. Probably it looks like it's an old opal, maybe from a scrap ring or something like that. Because I see the scratches on the thing. So we're gonna have to fit this inside there. So we're gonna cut this opal to size and shape. So it looks like that. Okay. Now opals, they contain plenty of water inside, embedded in the crystals. So I really suggest not to use any hot wax to dop these things. Instead, we're going to use super glue, but you can also use the big component or epoxy. It's very easy. I'm going to show you how, but it's going to protect the opal as material, so there is no flame involved, there is no heat, and there is no risk of water evaporating from the matrix or cracks into the opal. Let's do it. Okay, for this kind of jobs you always select a dop which is the right size of a final size of a stone, because you don't want to grind it once you go next to the final shape. You don't want to grind also the opal, as you see it happens sometimes. But because I didn't have the smaller one, so I've been compelled to actually grind the existing one, and I got a smaller. Now, as you can see, this one will fit in the final shape quite well, and it's not going to be touched by the wheel while cutting anymore. So we're going to use this one, even if it looks a little smaller for the stone in this moment, but then at the end it's going to be the right size, and we're not going to touch it, we're not going to spoil it. So first of all, we're just going to remove all the wax, clean it up very nicely. Now the quickest way to clean a dop is using the blowtorch. A small blowtorch and a piece of paper. Now if I catch the flame, yeah. So we're gonna soften soften the wax in the flame, and after they can be removed in the paper. Like this. This is gone, and we're gonna plunge the dop and the stone we're gonna cut into acetone to remove any residual of the wax, and also to clean them from grease and any debris. And I'm quenching the dop inside of the acetone. Okay, and I'll show you how to dop it. So here we're going to have our Facetron transferring block with a big dop, which will act as a stopper. If you have the targeting one that they now sell, new versions, it's much better because you can center very well the stone to dop. But I haven't got, so I'm gonna just use it. I use this one with my eyes. So, and then we put the other dop in the other side, lock in position, alright, and we're set to go now. This time I'm going to use a super glue. This is a really strong one, and it comes also with some fillers in powder. Yeah, it looks like plastic sand, this thing here. It's a plastic sand that once you apply the glue, you also sprinkle the glue with this, and it's going to build up material around the bond to reinforce the bond. So what I'm going to do now Just gonna put a little drop of glue on the tip here, and then yeah, I'm gonna do this slowly. Try to keep it overing it. Center. It doesn't. The problem of the glue that, unlike with the wax, it doesn't give you much time for reaction and to adjust. So I gotta be quite fast to try and center it towards the top. Another thing I don't like about the glues is the smell. I'll show you what happens with the sprinkle of the material that is in here. Okay, so we add a bit of a glue on the spot. Like that. Yeah. Now as you can see, we got the glue with a bit of material around it, like the dust which we sprinkle on top, made a layer around the bond to reinforce it. It's going to be much more durable and harder. Yes. There you got it. Now the opal is ready to be worked. This kind of glue I like because it takes very short time to set, even though it doesn't give you much time to center the stone or anything. But at least you can work after 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, let's go work it now. So now we're ready. Next is to measure the final size of the stone, and we're gonna do it now here. Maximum size is gonna be 3.6 by 3.6 by 5.2. Okay, and now we have here, let's see what's the size of this thing. So we got almost 8 by 6 something. So we've got plenty of material here to use, and I don't think there's going to be a problem even if there is a little misalignment. It's not completely in the center. I'm going to work it in any case. Okay, the first thing we do, we just double check that our stone is not too much out of alignment. So we put this one at 96. How to check that the stone is too much out of alignment, or there is too much is out of centering, or excessively out of centering, is that you place in any lap, you put the machine at 90 degrees. See, the 96, which is the center, and then you start to check north, south, east and west. So it means 96, 48, 24, 72, and you shouldn't have much difference between the 4 directions. 96, 48 and so on is because the 96 is top, let's say, 48 is bottom, 24 is left, and 72 is right. So once you have these 4 at the same distance from the center, you got the stone absolutely centered. Now we're just gonna check if it is, because we can't do much since it's a glue. So 96, for example, this is 96, 0 with 0 96. Let me show you. Yeah, no, it's better. You see, this is 96. We turn it at 48, which is the opposite, so south, no, south the bottom. As you can see, it's not completely in the center. We have like a quarter of millimeter out. See that? It was supposed to be closer to 0. So this is, when it's 45, it's half a millimeter. So this is a quarter of a millimeter out. Now let's see the left and right. With 0, for example, at 72, we put it at 0. This is 72, and you put a 0, and you check at 24 to see what happens. You see 24 is a bit deeper than that, so 24, 72. Now if I had, you see, this is a 72 compared to the 24. So if we had the wax, we could have just heat it up and press down against the lap to bring this to 0 or close to 0, so we could center the stone better. But now we can't do it because it's a hardened glue. So what I'm going to do now is just go on, because the size of the stone we're going to cut, it's much smaller than the one that we're cutting right now. So it's not necessary to be so precise with the centering. And we can just start. What I do is, since I don't have a cabin machine, I use a Facetron. What I do, I'll regulate the shape at 90 degrees, like if I was faceting a normal oval. And after that, I'm gonna just rough up some facets on the top to accompany the girdle line, and then for on, I'm gonna be free-handed on the Facetron to rough up the stone, and then I'll go by hand through different grids of sandpaper until the polish back again into the Facetron. I'll show you how to do this. It's a bit tedious, but for me, this is the best. I can achieve the best results until I buy a machine for that. A proper cabochon machine. So you guys, if you don't have a caba, you don't have an expensive cabin machine, but you do have a Facetron, that's the best way. At least I find out the best way, unless you buy felted pads or other expensive things that in any case slowly they wear off, you have to throw them away. And for one cabochon month for me, or a year maybe, or two, it's not really worth it. So you could do as I do with my machine. Okay. So I'm going to bring the stone to 3.5 by 5.5. Pretending it's an oval stone. It's an oval stone, yeah. Use always plenty of lubrication, so plenty of water. Especially in this case, it's an opal. And you continuously check until you get it at the right size. Now we are at 6. See you soon. I'm not gonna bother you until I reach the point. Okay? Okay. I reached the point that I have to check now if the width and the length are suitable for the ring. Let's see if I can show you and see it together. See, there's a little bit of play, so that's fine. So length and width are enough. I don't have to take more material out. What I'm going to do, since now the shape is not oval yet, I'm going to make it oval, and then I'll cap it on top. Okay, come back soon now. So the shape is there now. We're going to cap. Now to cap it, I use my broomstick as usual. With the top. What I do is squiggle it all around like this to give a pre-form. Keep spinning it while you wobble it. You see it's getting. Now one side is higher than the other one, so I have to regulate that. I'll come back to you to show you what happens. As you can see, the shape is almost there on top. So what I'm gonna do now is continue this job instead of doing it on the lap by hand. I want to spend some more time explaining to you how the cabbing on the machine works. See, I marked the holder for the dop in the way you can see the movement. So the movement are two. There's this movement here plus the spinning. So combined together to make a round surface, you gotta spin and twist continuously at different angles, so that the stone will get round. Okay, that's the way you do it. And after that you just go with the sandpapers on top of a surface to smoothen up the stone, whatever the material is. That's it. So I'm going to weigh it with 380, 600, 1200 before polishing it back again into the Facetron. This is just regular automotive sandpaper. You wet with water and then you gradually wear off the opal in the shape that you require. See you soon. First stage. Second stage. Pre-polish. Took literally 5 minutes. So let's polish it now. We're going to polish the opal with this leather disc I made myself. This is a sole for the shoes, and some ceramic oxide and titanium oxide mixed together, and a little bit of water. Just a little bit. And I'll make all these grooves on purpose for the cabochons. Okay, see you when I finish. Okay, I'm done. As you can see here, I don't know if you can see properly, but it polished very well. So I can get some close up. Yeah, it polished very well. Okay, now we test it on the ring. So to remove the opal from the top, just have to dip it inside of the acetone, and the acetone will do the job for me in maybe 10-15 minutes. See you then. I try it on. There you go. Yeah, they will clean up a bit the setting so they can fit. They fit it nicely, but that's fine. That's what it was supposed to be. Yeah. There we go. Done. Thanks for watching. See you next time.